Hello, everyone. I think I'm live. Let me make sure because I can't. Let me see if I can see if I am live. I think it says I am. so I, I'm like navigating all the technology by myself right now. Okay, I see. Oh, okay, there's comments. Okay, so hello, everyone. Welcome to another live. Today, you all have seen the announcement that I was going to be going live here on YouTube, and I'm going to be talking about our birth story. One of the reasons why I wanted to go live today, which is kind of early on a Saturday, so I don't expect a whole lot of views this early in the day on a Saturday, because I know a lot of people are probably busy and doing your thing on a Saturday. So if you're watching this after it's been recorded already, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. And if you are live with me right now, thank you so much for joining me in the middle of your Saturday to talk about our birth story. So Travis was supposed to join me today on this live, but unfortunately he was pulled in with some obligations to work, so he was not able to join me. But I am very excited to go live with you all and talk about our birth story and what happened. So if you are new to our channel, that you may not know all the details of just everything we've been through when it comes to our trying to grow our family. And so it's been crazy. So it's been so much, so many ups, so many downs. If you've been following us for a while, then you already know the story. But if you are interested and you would like to get caught up on our videos, click on the playlist that we have on our channel that is Journey to Our Rainbow. You're able to see all of the videos, and click on the playlist and it'll bring them all up, all the way from the beginning, like the very beginning. You'll be able to see what happened to us and how we have come so far from what we had gone through. And it has been a blessing, but it was hard, you all. You know, you just honestly, we were tested mentally, emotionally, physically for me, spiritually, both of us, when it came to trying to grow our family. You just never know when you try to grow your family with your partner what the journey is going to be. And Travis and I never expected it to be so complicated, especially since we have a 6-year-old where we had absolutely no trouble at all getting pregnant with her, which we're blessed, getting pregnant with Kyler. That's our 6-year-old. The pregnancy was 100% normal. I had not one complication. The only little thing was she was small and growing slower than her peers. When Kyla was born, she was 5 pounds, 5 ounces, and that was it. It was nothing. Nothing happened. So when we decided to get pregnant with a second time and grow our family 5 years after having our at that time she was 5, our 5-year-old, we didn't think anything was going to happen. We thought it was going to be very regular, pretty much standard, just like hers. And so for us to have complications after going through a very normal pregnancy with our 5-year-old at the time, 5, we were very shocked to learn that we were going to have a hard time trying to grow our family to even a family of 4. That was a shock. So I wanted to do this live to talk about my birth story and to do like a sit down with you all, because I did upload videos a day in the life. In the NICU, when our baby was in the NICU, I did a video about our C-section, our 32-week C-section. I did that. I did a video with our gender/name reveal. I filmed with y'all the whole time I was in the hospital on hospital bed rest. I have filled you all in on what happened the whole pregnancy, but I really wanted to do a sit down to let you all know what was going on, because I've been looking at the media and I've always been well aware on what's going on in the women in the community for women. And the mortality rate for Black women is very high when it comes to childbirth. And so I felt like it was definitely fitting for me to do this video today to talk about how I felt and my experience in going through what I went through. But before I do that, I wanted to give you all some updates about our channel and some things that's coming up. And I also have some exciting news about some partnerships that we are going to be taking place and that's going to be a part of our channel, which we are very thankful for, so thankful for, very excited about. But I wanted to share those with you all. So first, I'm going to do a update about our channel. So now a lot is changing with our channel. We're still going to be doing travel videos, Journey to Our Rainbow videos about our family and growing our family continuously, and just updates with that stuff. And we also are going to be, my phone's doing something weird. Sorry, y'all. Okay. We also going to continue our natural hair care product videos. So that's going to still be a thing. Our lives are also going to be a thing. We're going to get on a consistent schedule on what days we plan to film lives and what times. So that will be announced on our Instagram page at Locked In with the Liggins as soon as we're able to solidify that. So a live that's going to be coming up very soon is Kaisley, our rainbow baby. She's going to be turning 6 months, y'all. And I'm going to be so emotional about it. Oh my gosh. She's going to be turning 6 months next week. So I'll be going live again on next Saturday at 5 p.m. We're going to be celebrating her 6-month birthday. And y'all, it's like her half birthday. It done flew too fast because y'all saw all my videos that I posted with bringing her home from the hospital, giving birth to her, like everything. And I just can't believe already she about to be 6 months old. It's insanity. So we're going to be doing a little live celebrating her 6 months. So I'm going to be doing her 6-month update live, and she'll be joining me on the live. Kyla will probably also join me on that live as well. We don't particularly know what we're going to do to celebrate, but we're going to do something, and we're going to do it live. So it's going to be next Saturday at 5 p.m. Another exciting live that's going to be coming up on my channel, which I have been so hyped. Well, our channel, I've been so hyped to talk about it. And I haven't talked about it in a while because I'm still getting some details. So I don't have a lot of details right now because I'm still ironing out a lot of stuff. But once I get those things ironed out, you all will know this month. But just to throw a hint out there, this week is celebrating breastfeeding. And so I have been breastfeeding Kaisley since almost 6 months now. She's a breastfed baby. And I have been so proud of myself. One of my biggest, the things I'm the most proud of is how much breast milk I've been able to pump for her. And I've been at least about 300, 400 bags of breast milk. It was so much breast milk that we had freezers and bags of breast milk stored up. And I've been so proud of myself that I've been able to feed her thus far breast milk. So I have partnered up with some YouTube mamas that I love. It's some moms on YouTube that I have been chatting with. We have been just connected, and I've been so excited about it. But those mamas, we are going to get together in September. It's going to be the first weekend in September, but we're trying to iron out some of the details of what we're going to talk about. But we know for sure that we're going to be talking about breastfeeding, motherhood, and we might talk about some other things pertaining to our children. We're not sure yet, but for sure we're going to be talking about all things breastfeeding, all things early, motherhood, and we're going to be giving a lot of helpful tips for moms that's new to breastfeeding. If you have any questions pertaining to breastfeeding or motherhood or anything you want to share with us, you can inbox me or DM me on Instagram at Locked In with the Liggins. But I'm just so excited. The live is going to be called The Milky Mama. And so we cannot wait to go live with you all, but it's going to be hopefully me and 2 other YouTube mamas. And we're going to be going live right here on this channel. So please join us the first weekend in September. I'll let you all know the exact date, the exact time, and how to submit questions to us. And I'll probably do an announcement video on Instagram to let you all know about that. Just some more details. I'll probably post some details in the community tab too on our channel, just so you all know when things are going to be happening. But really excited about that opportunity, you all. And so next thing, other partnerships that we're going to be doing on this channel that I'm so excited to finally talk to you all about is we are now partnered with an amazing book box, and it's called Reading Revolutionaries. And we are so excited. If you follow Kyla on Instagram at Sweet Kyler Doll or Locked In with the Liggins on Instagram, then you probably already saw our announcement. But we are partnered with Reading Revolutionaries, which is a new book box that you can subscribe to the book box and get a new book box every month. And it's for people of all ages. If you got littles that's a hesitant reader, it's good for them. If you got teens, tweens, adults, and you love to read, definitely check out the book box. I love to read. You all know I have a YouTube channel called Bookish with Mariah, and I am always talking about books that I read, and I'm so excited to partner with them. So if you are interested in that book box, it is Reading Revolutionaries, and you can use the code Kyler Reads with the S to get a discount. You can get a 10% discount on the book box. Now, you can also check us out on Instagram, and I posted all the details about what's in the book box, how often you can get a book box, the discount code for the book box. Everything is on Instagram. So follow us on Instagram. I'll put it in the comments. I'm going to put Kyler's Instagram there, or our Instagram logs in with, which is our channel name. So, a lot of you all are already following us, so you already know what it is. But for sure, I definitely want you all. There it is. So any of those there, Sweet Kyler doll or Locked In with the Leggings, you can find out information for the book box, and you can get a 10% off if you use the code Kyler Reads with the S, and you can get the 10% off of that book box. Y'all, it's amazing. It celebrates people of color, women, people from various backgrounds. A lot of the writers in there I'm a huge fan of, so definitely check it out on Instagram. Kyler and I did an announcement video on her Instagram at Sweet Kyler Doll, so all of the info is there. When I get off of this live, I'm going to actually post the announcement on our Instagram page, Locked In with the Leggings, but you can go ahead and head over to Kyler's Instagram page and see the announcement video for Reading Revolutionaries and receive 10% off. So yay, yes. And we're going to be posting videos for Reading Revolutionaries on our channel, so that way you all can see some of the stuff we get in our book boxes. So if you're still unsure, we also did an unboxing video as well on the channel. So definitely on our Instagram page. So definitely check that out. So yeah, that's one of the codes that I want to reveal to you all. And the second partnership that we're going to be a part of, which I'm super excited about, you all, we are going to be with Goalie Nutrition. I am so hyped. If you all are familiar with those vitamins, Travis have been taking the apple cider vinegar gummy vitamins for quite some time. They are vitamins that Travis actually introduced me to, and then he has been taking them for I think at least a year or so. He's been taking those vitamins, but we are now partnered with Goalie Nutrition, and I'm really excited. They are gluten-free. They're organic vitamins. We have been a fan of them for a while. I'm going to post information about this on our Instagram page. Again, Locked In with the Leggings, and also on Kyler's page at Sweet Kyler Doll, and in the community tab very soon. And we have our own page with them. If you want to use code Leggings Family, you can, and you can get a discount. So we are now Goalie ambassadors. So yay! You're going to see us talk about them in our YouTube videos coming up here pretty soon, in our regular recorded videos. So if you see that, I'm going to be posting the code, so you all will have access to that. All right, y'all. So I'm going to stop talking about our partnerships and go ahead and talk about what I'm here to talk to you all about, which is our birth story. And I'm so excited to get into the details about what was going on with our birth story and what we went through or whatnot. Because when you all saw out those videos, I kind of felt like there was information that could have been left out a little bit. And so I really wanted to make sure that I did a sit down video with you all to talk about our birth story of little Kaylee. All right. So what was going on? Where do I even start? Let me take that off. Okay. So I think I might get some of the dates wrong, but it's okay. So on January I want to say maybe the 16th, 15th to 16th, I turned 28 weeks, which was on a Saturday. It was somewhere around in there. We were so excited to celebrate 28 weeks, you all. That is third trimester. So to make it to the third trimester, because with our pregnancy with Kyler, we got the 38 weeks easily, no problem. She was born 5 pounds, 5 ounces, which I'm going to do a video about her birth story eventually on this channel. And then when we got pregnant in September 2019, we had an early miscarriage at 8 weeks, which was very unexpected, unexplained, but that happened. Then obviously with Cairo, we made it to the second trimester, and we lost him. He was stillborn at 22 weeks and 3 days due to incompetent cervix. I got all those videos on our channel already. And then with Kaylee, we made it to this point to where we were at the third trimester. The reason why we was able to make it to the third trimester with Kaylee, which a lot of you all already know because I have the videos uploaded on our channel already, and I've been very upfront and honest with you all, is because I had a cervical cerclage. I was taking progesterone suppositories nightly. So I got the cerclage at 13 weeks, and which means I had to go have surgery. You also at 13 weeks, I had to have surgery, and they had to do a stitch into my cervix to like close it up to make sure it stayed closed for the remainder of the pregnancy or as long as possible to prolong the pregnancy. And I started at 6. So after the 13-week mark, after I got my cervical cerclage done, you all saw the video where I took you with me while I went to get that cerclage done. If you haven't, again, check out Journey to Our Rainbow playlist, and all of that is in there. And after that, at 16 weeks, I started taking progesterone suppositories. And I also started taking baby aspirin, which were 81 milligrams. So that's the journey that I started at the beginning. So I got the cerclage at 13 weeks. And then at 16 weeks, I started taking progesterone and also the progesterone suppositories and the baby aspirin. So I had to do all that stuff, y'all, before I even got to the third trimester. But it was all worth it. And obviously, I was taking my daily prenatal vitamins. So if you're a mom that's watching this video that's thinking about getting a cerclage and you're unsure, I 100% believe that cervical cerclage definitely helped bring our rainbow baby into this world, along with the progesterone I took and also the 81 milligram of baby aspirin. So if you are a person that's like, oh, I don't know if I should get a cerclage or not, definitely talk to your doctor about it. Obviously, I'm not a medical professional, but I will tell you that I did not have any issues with that cervical cerclage, and I'm very happy that I did go that route. And if we did decide to grow our family just one more time, we will 100% consider, we definitely will get a cervical cerclage again. Now, if you're wondering what kind of cerclage I got, it was the McDonough cerclage. I know there's other ones that starts with an S, and then there's different ones, but the one we got was the McDonough cerclage. And honestly, that was because that was the one that they did at my MFM, at my maternal fetal medicine doctor. That's the one they did. So if you also have incompetent cervix and you're worried about that, the one I got was the McDonough cerclage. Definitely go check out my video where I talk to you in details about my cerclage in the Journey to Our Rainbow playlist. So you can kind of get an update on what incompetent cervix is, my cerclage, and all that stuff is already on our channel. All right, so 16 weeks hit, and when the 16 weeks hit for me, I, after that, had to go to my MFM doctor every 2 weeks to get ultrasounds done. Now, for some people, that's exciting, right? You excited to see your baby on an ultrasound every time you go, right? But for me, after going through so much trauma of losing 2 children, you get nervous every time you go in for an ultrasound. Like it loses its magic, I guess. And every time I went to a ultrasound appointment, I always thought that I had lost the baby. And I know that sounds sad, but every time I went to an ultrasound appointment, I was always expecting the worst. And that shouldn't have been the case. You know, it's so sad that women and couples in general go through, you know, after you lose a baby or after you had a traumatic experience, you have to feel like, dang, you can't even get excited about an ultrasound, y'all. Keep in mind, Travis and I never told anybody about our pregnancy until we were 6 months. So our family didn't know, not even our moms and dads. Our friends didn't know. Nobody knew about our pregnancy with Kaylee except for our coworkers. And the reason why they knew was because obviously I was working virtually, so my coworkers actually didn't even have to see me. I have coworkers to this day that still had no clue until after I had the baby. The only people that really knew was my supervisors. And then finally, my other coworkers kind of found out because I started being open about it because I had to go into the hospital. Obviously, you all watch our channel, y'all know that. But we didn't tell anybody. We didn't tell a soul. And the reason why we wanted to keep it so private, not only because we had a loss, it wasn't just about a loss. Because once I got to 16 weeks, and I started going to the doctor, the MFM every 2 weeks. I also had to see my OBGYN every 2 weeks as well because I was so high risk, right? The reason why we and that was just for checkups. She would just check on heart rate and make sure she checked the belly size and stuff like that. And the MFM would do like the ultrasounds to make sure the cerclage was holding, to check on the baby, to make sure the baby was growing well. Just do things that a high risk doctor do. None of the appointments ever took too long. It was just a go in, check, make sure everything was good. One of the main reasons why though we kept it so private and we didn't tell anybody about our pregnancy was because y'all, people can be very mean. When we lost our son, we had people that was close to us. It was people like family members that were very, very close to us, and people that don't know us very well. It also were making really mean comments to us, very negative comments to us. And we just really wanted to protect ourselves and keep our pregnancy private because we just didn't want to have a lot of the outside world judging us and telling us what we should do or what they felt like we should do. So we wanted to keep our pregnancy private. Some people think they're helping when they say certain things, but they're not. And, we know that some people just don't know how to talk to you after you've lost a child. And we understand that some things people say come out of love and concern, and maybe they just don't understand that what they're saying is offensive. But we had some really negative comments. Like when I was pregnant with my son, we had people fat shaming me, talking about my weight. Y'all, I'm a skinny girl. I've always been pretty thin. But believe it or not, even though I'm thin, people were fat shaming me. I had people making comments about my weight, like, oh, you so fat, you fat while you pregnant. And, just as a woman, that stuff, that hurts, because when women are going through pregnancy, your body is going through so many changes that you can't control. And you're literally growing a human. And to have people make negative comments to you about your pregnancy that you're happy about your pregnancy, but just to have people making negative comments, that can be very much so detrimental to your mental health. And as a woman, you already going through so much. That's not people you want to involve yourself around while you're going through a pregnancy, and you don't want anybody to be stressing you out while you're going through a pregnancy. So for us, we wanted to protect ourselves. We had people just making so many negative comments like, oh, I hope you're not having no more kids, or I hope you don't get pregnant again, or I hope you getting your tubes tied. Y'all, this was all stuff that was said to our face. Like people were saying these type of things after our son passed. We were already grieving so much over him passing and also our other miscarriage. People didn't consider like, hey, wait, let me keep those comments to myself. Unfortunately, we had some people thinking that they were helping by telling us those comments. And that is sad. But people actually told us to our face, like, I hope you're not having any more kids, or I hope you get your tubes tied, or, oh, you ain't having no more children, are you? Or, oh, Mariah, you so fat, or, maybe you weren't meant to be a mother of more than one child. Like we had people to our face tell us those things. And that's something we will never forget. And that really hurt, y'all. So I say all that to say that we decided to keep our pregnancy a secret. So we didn't tell anybody. And when I got, and y'all, not telling anybody, this is just our personal choice, not telling anyone, y'all, I was so happy. Y'all. Like I got to just really enjoy my pregnancy. I got to really just focusing on my body and my health, my mental health. I got to really just focus on self. And that 100%, I believe, also helped me get through everything we had to go through to have our rainbow baby. All right, so that's where I was mentally, y'all. Mentally, I didn't have time for people and their negative comments. I was just focused on self, and y'all, it paid off, okay? So, and I know it may come as a shock for y'all to hear me say that like people was that negative to us, but people was that negative to us, y'all. And when we confronted people about their comments they were making to us, don't you know they got defensive with us? Like we did something wrong to them. We commented to them and let them know like, hey, I don't like the comments you're making on, people actually got mad at us for saying, hey, I don't like that. I don't like that you're talking to me like that. And what people have to remember is, when you make negative comments to people, they have a right to have feelings about what you're saying. And if they decide that they don't want you in their space, they don't have to have you in their space. So yes, y'all, people made very negative comments to us after we lost our son. But we also had a lot of positive comments that came our way and a lot of supportive individuals that understood what we were going through. And we really did appreciate that. We 100% appreciated that. But yes, y'all, some of the worst comments we heard people say when we lost our son was, I hope you get your tubes tied. I think that one for me will stick with me for a long time. Because as a woman, you feel, defeated after you lose a child. And then you got people that after you lose your son, the first thing they say is, I hope you getting your tubes tied. I don't know why people think that's okay to say, or to hear people tell you like, oh, I hope you ain't having no more kids. It was crazy, right? So we kept our pregnancy for a secret. The only people that knew I was pregnant and was Travis, my coworkers, and my line sisters. Yeah. So the reason why my line sisters knew was because a lot of them kept coming in town, and I was avoiding them, and I didn't come in. I didn't want to go. Like they would say, like, "Oh, we coming in town, y'all. Mariah, do you want to go out to eat?" And I used to be like, so I couldn't come up with any more excuses to not go out to eat. And so I had to tell them, y'all. So they knew too as well, because I was not a creative liar. And so I had to, oh, hey, Amira, thank you so much for joining my live. I really appreciate it. Y'all, that's one of my line sisters now. Thank you so much for joining, girl. And Kayla, thank you so much for joining my live. I really appreciate it. I wish Travis was here, y'all, so y'all could see him too and say hey to him. I'll tell him that y'all say hello, but he is working the plantation, y'all. That's what I be calling. I call it the plantation because it is so ridiculous how much he got to work this month. But thank y'all so much for joining our live. I really, really appreciate it. It's a very complex decision making. Yes, that's true, Kayla. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, it is. And I couldn't believe people was asking me those questions, like after our son passed away, the day afterwards, people were like, oh, I hope you get your tubes tied. And I'm just like, dang, like we just went through a loss. That's the first thing people thought to ask me. It sucks. I mean, I really felt, that's like one of them things that, how people say, like, don't kick me when I'm down type thing. That's how that felt. That felt like somebody kicking you when they're down. Like, we even had somebody make a comment that said, like, his name was Cairo, and we have reasons to why we chose that name. We loved that name. Y'all, I could not give him life, but the only thing I could give him was his name. Somebody told us was like, they said, why did you choose that name? I don't like that name. You should have gave him a different name. I was like, are you kidding me? He already gone. And you mean to tell me that like somebody actually will comment and say something about his name, y'all? And this is people that's like close relatives and friends that were really close to us. Some of the friends we actually don't even talk to anymore, but they like legit was like commenting on the name. And I was just like, are y'all kidding me? Girl, it just be a mess. It'd be a mess, right? So, Danny, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate you joining my live too. Hey, girl. Hey. Yes, I'm live. This is me live, y'all. This is how I'm looking right now. Rough, but I'm here. But thank y'all so much for commenting. It's been a lot for us over the last couple of weeks, over the last couple of months. And so, y'all, after we lost our son, we kept that pregnancy tight-lipped, and y'all, it was amazing. I'm gonna tell y'all, I really enjoyed keeping that little secret, y'all. And you know what? The pandemic sucked, but I tell y'all, that pandemic has given me the opportunity to, for one, to just get back to just focusing on self-care and just make sure I'm focusing on quality time with my family and my house. It 100% gave me that ability. And y'all, I got to hide my pregnancy. So I ain't gonna lie, I was slick room for being at home because I didn't have to deal with the pressure of society. Like society really put a lot of pressure on women that's pregnant, and Black women that's pregnant is so much. So the reason why I wanted to do the live to talk about my birth is because, a lot of women are dying from childbirth. And I really wanted to be able to talk about my experience. When I was pregnant with Cairo, I actually told my doctor, I want to say like maybe a month before he passed, I kept noticing this weird discharge, and he had like a weird smell to it. And you already know, like, oh, warning, anybody listening to this live, this will be a graphic live. So if you're uncomfortable talking about female organs and discharge and whatever, just know this is your only warning. All right. So yeah, I kept noticing I kept having this discharge. And so I kept talking to my doctor about it. I was like, hey, I'm having this discharge. I don't understand why it's happening. And they were like, oh, we'll run some tests. You're fine. I'm sure you're probably fine. They ran tests, whatever, to see if I had an infection. They kept saying no. And I was like, okay, well, I guess this may be just regular pregnancy stuff. Like, because I had a baby before I got a 6-year-old. I was like, okay, we all know during pregnancy, man, stuff just leaks. So, okay. So I didn't think nothing of it. 2 weeks before he passed away, I had my anatomy scan. And the anatomy scan is the big one. I was nervous, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna have this anatomy scan or whatever. I hope everything's going well. Well, everything was going well at the anatomy scan, supposedly, right? I don't know if the girl did a thorough check. I don't know. To this day, I probably still regret it, not asking more questions at that time. And then a couple of days after the anatomy scan, that's when I started noticing that discharge was back, and I was kind of breaking out down there. And I was like, something is not right. So I actually went to the doctor again. I had been complaining probably for like a whole month about this discharge. And the doctors never listened to me. They never listened to me. They never said anything about what was going on. They was like, oh, it's fine. You don't have an infection. So the week I got diagnosed with incompetent cervix with chiro, and that's when they told me that the pregnancy probably wasn't going to last. That's when they told me that I had an infection probably for the last month, which was vaginosis is what they call it. And it's infections that it's a bacterial infection or whatnot. And so that infected like my uterus, and it also caused preterm labor. And it wasn't a cause of the incompetent cervix that I had, though, but it was a factor that played into kind of what happened. And so it just goes to show that the doctor didn't listen to like a damn thing I said, and that they were like, oh, your cervix has failed, and you got this infection, and we're sorry. And I'm like, you sorry? That's all you can say, is that you sorry? And I just feel like, had I not been a Black woman, I think they would have listened to me more. So at that time, I just completely lost it. I completely lost it. So when I was inside of the hospital room, what I did was I got on the internet and I looked up. They told me I needed a high risk doctor to take a look at me, and they gonna recommend one. No, I got on the internet the day that I got diagnosed in that hospital room and found a completely different OBGYN, a completely different team, a completely different high-risk doctor. I made an appointment right there in that hospital bed, and I demanded that they discharge me from that hospital and from that practice. I got all my medical records that day. Y'all, keep in mind, like my water bag hanging out. I'm like about to give birth to my son at that time, and I'm moving. I went ahead and got admitted to one of the best hospitals in Georgia and found a really good team. Even though they weren't able to save my son, the new team that I found in that moment, they 100% did everything they could to try to save him. They did tell me that it was kind of too late, but they gave me all kind of, the meds that I needed. They gave me the counseling that I needed after he passed. They made sure I was straight. And so that's why with him, or with Kaylee this time, I was like, no, I'm going to that team that really helped me get through what I went through when my son was about to pass. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's definitely true. Yeah, I thought that they would have recommended me to go to the hospital. The first time I kept saying something about it. Then the second time they never did. And all they said was like, oh, they did give me some Monistat. They were like, oh, it may be a yeast infection. I said maybe, but yeah, they gave me some yeast infection medication. I took that stuff. I thought that fixed it, because for a day I didn't have no discharge. But then after that, it came back like, so that was a mess. That was a mess. Yeah, you're right, Kayla. I definitely agree. I thought they would have put me in a hospital, but no, they did not. So what I did was I found a whole new team that had some of the highest ratings in Georgia, and I started going to them. And so they were the same team, y'all, that did my cervical cerclage with Kaylee, and the same team that pretty much helped me all the way through my journey. So what did I leave off with Kaylee's story? Oh yeah. So with Kaylee's story, after I got my cervical cerclage at 16 weeks, I was pretty much, like I said, going to see the MFM every 2 weeks. And like I said, that was traumatic because I had to keep getting those ultrasounds done. I was excited to get pictures of her, but I I wasn't sure. You go in there and you just don't know if you can get excited because they may give you bad news. Y'all, when I went into those ultrasounds, I didn't want to know the gender. I really didn't want to look at the ultrasound screen. I didn't want to know nothing about the baby until the baby passed 24 weeks. And I know that sounds so mean because that seems like, you didn't make a connection with the baby until that time. But I was just too scared to get attached. And that's also very sad. You don't want to, you worry about getting too attached to a child that may not stay. And with Cairo, I got so attached to him. And I was like, well, maybe this time if I don't get too attached, if something happens, I won't be hurt as bad. And I know that sounds pitiful though, y'all, right? It's so sad that mamas have to go through all this, it sucks. Yes, that's right. Yeah, a lot of moms at 24 weeks, going into preterm labor, it is so common. I didn't even know it was that common. People in my family, they didn't have these issues. They had regular pregnancies, so nobody in my family could talk to me about preterm labor, incompetent cervix, having early contractions, preeclampsia, which I'm about to talk about in a minute. Nobody could relate at all to me. Most of the time, I was just sitting like, what's going on? So I definitely urge any mamas, any people that's out there that's thinking about having children or growing a family, talk to your moms about their pregnancies and what they've gone through in detail, because you may be able to get more info out of them, just so you can, I don't want to say prepare for the worst, but at least know, just being aware, y'all. I wasn't even aware. I was like, I'm good. I'm gonna have a regular pregnancy, girl. I was just living my best life, but no, that's true. I'm just shocked at how common it actually is. It's sad, and how the doctors just really don't listen to you. I really feel like had the doctors listened to me back then in early April, we might could have saved him had we known what was going on ahead of time. So it sucks. And with Kaisley, I pretty much just I was pregnant, but we never talked about me and Travis we didn't talk about the pregnancy with Kaisley that much at all. He would check in with me every now and then and be like, oh, you doing okay? And I'd be like, I'm okay. And he'd be like, what the doctor say? And I was like, the doctor said she looking good. And that's it, y'all. We didn't talk in detail about the pregnancy because we was both too scared to get too attached. And so we just and that's so sad, man. You don't want to be with your man and y'all having a baby and y'all both scared to talk about it. It just don't feel fair. You don't want to be with your guy and then y'all just sitting up like, oh yeah, the pregnancy, I hope it go okay. And then even once I got 24 weeks, Kayla, we still was like, we'll see, y'all. We'll see. We still, and 24 weeks is actually a big milestone. Mamas that make it to 24 weeks, they baby have at least anywhere between a 50 to 60% chance of survival. And so most of the time they tell you yay, celebrate 24 weeks. But girl, we were still scared, which is ridiculous. Oh, another case is here. Oh yeah. Oh, Amira. Yeah. Great question. Yeah. Oh. Once we brought Kaisley home, y'all, am I more relaxed? I didn't get more relaxed about Kaisley until she got to 4 months, about 4 or 5 months. She 5 months now, y'all. So that goes to tell you that I'm finally more relaxed. I didn't get more relaxed about her to the end, and that's because, we had her, y'all know, she was in the NICU for a while, so we weren't sure then what was going to happen. We brought her home. Then we started worrying about SIDS. I was like, man, we don't want to have to worry about SIDS. I was a nervous wreck. Every time you look up, I was trying to check her to see if she was breathing. It was a fool. So I would say, yes, I'm a little more relaxed, but on a scale of 1 to 10, very relaxed being a 1, and 10 being I'm doing the most I come, I'm probably at a 6. So I'm still doing the most, but I don't know. I'm worried. I'm still kind of worried. I got to send her to daycare next week. Yeah, next week she go to daycare for the first time, and I'm gonna be a fool. I'm gonna upload a video so y'all can see how awful I'm gonna act at the child care center. But I'm gonna act. I'm gonna be awful. I'm gonna be so bad. I hope I don't go. Go viral acting a fool at this daycare. So I'm gonna upload a video about that. But yeah, Amira, I'm a little more relaxed. But y'all, it sounds bad. After our son passed away, you worry about your kids all the time. You always worried about them, just naturally as a mom. But I started getting to the point to where I didn't want Kyler out of my sight. I don't be wanting Kays out of my sight. Yeah, I be acting a fool and so. And I think it's because I got so much PTSD from what happened. So I just be like, acting, kind of worried about them all the time. So I'm telling you right now, when I get to that daycare, if them folks don't answer the phone when I call, it's gonna be it's gonna be a mess. Y'all, I can't even put it into words, y'all. It's gonna be embarrassing. I'm probably gonna embarrass our name acting a fool at this place. So yes. So the answer is yes. I'm a little more relaxed, but do I still act a fool? Probably so. No, it's like naturally that was what your mind protect your mental. You're right. Yes, Kayla, I was definitely trying to protect my mental. I really didn't know what to expect. I'm just like, look, I'm going into another pregnancy. Then unfortunately, you got people around you that's, in your community that's supposed to be on your team talking to you all negative and stuff. And normally I'm the type of person where I really don't care what people say. But man, when it comes to the kids and your body, people question your worth as a mother, as a wife, man. You just be feeling like, oh man. And then so when we got pregnant with Kaylee, and we got y'all saw the videos on our channel with the YouTube with the us taking our pregnancy tests and stuff. Y'all, it was so anticlimactic. Like we were like, yay. And that was it, because we was just so scared to get excited about it. And we wanted to, like, around that time when I turned 24 weeks, Travis was like, should we buy something? Like, should we buy, y'all? We didn't have one baby item. At 24 weeks, we didn't have not one baby item. When I got 28 weeks, we still didn't have nothing. So it was, we didn't buy baby stuff until I think after she was born. And that's a mess. Like, because we was so scared. And even after she was born, we bought stuff, but we kept the receipts because we felt like, oh man, we might have to take all this stuff back. People did a virtual baby shower for us. I asked my line sister to do a virtual baby shower for us. I was just so nervous to even help her plan it for me. Like I was at home worried about it. I was like, I'm asking her to plan a baby shower for me and we might have to take all the stuff back. And I should have been excited about the virtual baby shower. I was once it happened, but I was in the hospital the day that it happened. And it or was I in the hospital? Yeah, I think I was. And I didn't want to tell nobody that I had went into the hospital. We kept that a secret. But I pretty much was like, dang, what do we have to take all this stuff back? So, yeah, we were trying to protect our mental. And even to this day, I still find myself every now and then still like, kind of worried about stuff. But I've been considering going back to counseling. So that way that could kind of help me out a little bit to ease my mind. Oh, co-sleeping. Yes, I'm actually going to be doing a day in the life vlogs for you all so y'all can see how we do our at-home situation. So when we first came home from the hospital, we did, so Kayla was in a bassinet for a while. So for the whole first month of her life, she was in a hospital. So we got her when she turned exactly 1 month. And then when we brought her home, she was sleeping in her little bassinet next to our bed. And Casey does not like to sleep on her back, y'all, at all. Like putting that child on her back, she gonna scream, holler. She hates it. Even when she was in the NICU, those people had to put monitors on her and keep her on her stomach or on her side because she just would not go on her back without them people like being stressed out the whole time. And every time we came to the NICU, they used to say stuff like, I used to be like, how Casey doing? And they used to be like, she's sassy, or they'd be like, she's rowdy, or they'd be like, she's a diva. I'm like, what is these words y'all using? They kept using certain words to describe her character, and I'm like, what's wrong with y'all? And so I started realizing when we brought her home what they meant, and they started talking to me about she likes things a certain way, and she definitely don't like sleeping on her back. So we had to start co-sleeping with her because I didn't feel comfortable putting her on her stomach, which she prefers, that little, because I was worried about, again, y'all SIDS and all that. And we didn't buy the owlet. Some people was like, oh, buy the owlet, it'll make you feel better. Y'all, that thing is like what? $300. No, it was like $300 for one little device. And I was like, look, I just hold it for the rest of the night. That's free. That's a mess. But y'all, I couldn't afford the owlet. So I didn't get the owlet. And so I just, we did the co-sleeping at first, and then that worked out okay. So yes, we did. But now Kayla actually sleeps in her pack and play, and she is fine. She'll go to sleep. We put her down. She don't be stunning us at all. So she's doing very, very well. And probably not this month in August, but maybe at her 7th month, we're gonna let her start sleeping in her crib in her room by herself. So yes, I'm starting to make steps to calm down. But y'all, after going through that kind of trauma, you just be it messes you up. I hope anybody on this live, y'all, I hope anybody on this live watching this live, I hope y'all don't have to go through that. I just hope y'all have regular experiences and just, it was a mess, y'all. It was a mess. Everything a mess. So, yeah, that's funny, Amiri. Yeah. If I clown at the daycare, I definitely comment in the group and let y'all know. I'm gonna pray I don't. Like, they already messing up at the daycare. They told me they was gonna have an open house on next Tuesday, and they told me, I called them this past Thursday and I said, "Oh, y'all gonna have an open house?" She was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "We're gonna send you the info on Friday morning." Why I still haven't got the info. So I'm gonna have to call them on Monday and have words to why they haven't sent me the information for the open house. Y'all, it's gosh, it's so annoying. I'm so stressed out thinking about sending her to daycare already. But I am happy that I get to send her to a child care center at 6 months, which is better than with Kyler. With Kyler, I had to send her at 6 weeks, y'all. And if y'all, honey, I was a mess. I should have recorded myself then because it was so awful that, I almost didn't leave the parking lot when I dropped Kyla off. It was awful. So I'm hoping that I'm more mature now. I'm older now. Back then I was like 23 and ready to pop off at any moment, but now I'm much calmer. So hopefully I do okay. I keep y'all updated about the daycare situation. Yes. So what happened was in January, though, I turned 28 weeks. We celebrated. We were super excited. We were like, yay, we got to 28 weeks. So this is when we finally in the pregnancy start feeling like, oh, we might actually have a baby this time. Y'all, we had to wait the 6 months to get excited about having a baby, but that's what we had to deal with. So at that time, that's when we finally decided to tell. I was 27 weeks in like 3 days. Right before I turned 28 weeks, that's when we told our families. We called them on the phone. We didn't record it this time because y'all know when we told our families with Cairo, we recorded it for y'all. If y'all want to see that video, that's up on our channel in the Journey to Our Rainbow playlist. But we told our families. The reactions were mixed. Some people were excited. Some people that we didn't think would be excited were excited. But then we had some people that were really cautious about celebrating with us. They didn't want to celebrate too much, and we respected that. We were like, we understand. We don't want, we got it because we knew we had gone through loss, and maybe they were protecting their own mental with that. So they just was like, oh, congratulations. I hope it works out. It's pretty sad for the parents though, because with the parents, you want people to be excited for you, but we understood why some people were kind of cautious about it. So we didn't, we've learned how to build up a thick skin now, and we just try not to take stuff so close to heart when it comes to that. So we told them then. When I went into the hospital at 28 weeks and one day, we had just got done celebrating Kyla's birthday. Her birthday was that Saturday, and we celebrated that Saturday and Sunday. That Monday, I decided to get up. I watch a lot of YouTube videos, y'all, a lot, because I love YouTube. So I watch a lot of videos. And one of the moms did a video about preeclampsia. She did a video talking about preeclampsia and some of the symptoms she had from preeclampsia. And I was like, oh, wow, I hadn't even thought about that. Let me watch her video. So I just watched her video. I was like, let me watch this girl video. It was like 8 a.m. in the morning. I get up early, y'all. I watched the video. And she had her baby at 33 weeks because of preeclampsia, high blood pressure. And I was like, let me check my blood pressure. I'm just going to check my blood pressure. Now, the week before that, I went to the doctor. My blood pressure was a little high. And the doctor was like, oh, it's a little high, but, we'll monitor you. You okay? I told her, I was like, hey, but, my feet is swollen and, I've been having this headache. You sure I'm okay? And they were like, oh, yeah, you're fine. I'm sure you're fine. Y'all. All right. That was just 4 days before this happened, right? So that Monday, that was just the Thursday before this happened. That Monday, 8 a.m., I watched that video of that girl. She told me one of the leading signs, one of the big signs of you having preeclampsia is a headache and your feet swelling. I said, girl, check your blood pressure. So I decided, I'm thinking in my mind, I was like, don't flip out, girl. My Mariah, don't flip out. Don't call the doctor's office and threaten these folks. Just check your blood pressure. Do the mature thing. What would Travis do? Y'all, I had to ask myself, what would Travis do a lot? Okay, because he's a lot more calmer than I am. He's really cool, calm, collective. So I had to tell myself, okay, look, don't act like that. So I checked my blood pressure. My blood pressure was 165 over 105 or 112. It was very freaking high. And I was like, girl, you ain't got preeclampsia. Don't think that. Don't think that the time that you told the doctor that your blood pressure was high and you asked questions about it, they brushed you off like that. That ain't happening. Why did I check my blood pressure and it was that darn high? So I waited like an hour. I was like, okay, let me see if it'll go down. I put my feet up. I drank water. I tried to hydrate a lot. I was like, let me just sit down. But the problem was I had just woke up from being asleep. This was 8 a.m. So me putting my feet up and doing all this stuff wasn't going to help me because I woke up with my blood pressure high. So that's when you know you got a problem. So my blood pressure was 165 over 112. And I was like, I got a problem. I retook it an hour later. I waited an hour. I called my OBGYN in between that time and told them what was going on. And they was at first like, oh, well, monitor it and let's see if it goes down. So I checked my blood pressure again and it was like 144 over something, still high. And so I called back and I told them and they was like, you need to come to the hospital ASAP. So I get to, I had my hospital bag already picked. So another thing about having babies preterm or being used to premature birth, you already feel like you might not make it to term. So you might start packing your hospital bag a little sooner than some moms that wait till like 36, 37 weeks. When I turned 26 weeks, I went on to pack my whole hospital bag. I had my bag packed. I had Travis' bag packed. I had Kyler bag packed to go out of town or to go to whoever was going to be taking care of her while I was giving birth. I had that stuff packed like late in the second trimester because I knew our history. I knew the reality. So I told Travis, I put he put the suitcase in the car for me. On up to this time, y'all, I had been going to the high-risk doctor for every 2 weeks. I went from 16 weeks to 27 weeks. I went every 2 weeks to get my cervix checked. And the cerclage was holding perfectly. So we knew that the problem I had with Cairo was not going to be a problem with Casey because we had that surgery done and it worked. It was successful. And I had it checked every 2 weeks. So that went well. So just so y'all know, me going back into the hospital this time had nothing to do with what happened with Cairo. That problem was, I wouldn't say fixed, but it was temporarily doing its job. So that was a positive. We were very happy about that. So I get to the hospital and the lady was like, okay, we're going to check your blood pressure again. We're going to check you in or whatever. Man, they checked my blood pressure. That thing was like 176 over some high. So it's done jumped back up high and it was higher than what it was when I checked it at home. And so they was like, we're going to probably have to keep you overnight. I said, So I said, okay, they're going to keep me and monitor me. I'm good. I'm straight. I'm all right. I ain't thinking much, y'all. When you have had a baby and lost a baby so early, you thankful for the small things. I told myself in my mind, like, if I had this baby at 28 weeks and 1 day, what I do know is the survival rate for a baby at 28 weeks is anywhere from 90 to 95%. So I knew my chances of the baby surviving were good. So that was enough for me to keep me positive, motivated, feeling great. A lot of the doctors were like, are you okay? Or, are you doing fine? Like they were thinking that I would have like an emotional breakdown because they knew my past. But for me, I was like, girl, I'm good. We done made it to the third trimester. I'm just blessed with that idea. So that's why when I was filming for y'all and y'all saw the videos and y'all saw me in the hospital and I uploaded all those YouTube videos, people kept wondering why I was so calm. That's because I do have that kind of loss in the second trimester. Man, you make it to the third, you feeling like you done won the Olympics. That's how I felt. I felt amazing. I was like, you know what? This sucks, but I don't care. I'm very happy that we've gotten to a point to where the survival rate is high. Now, the next thing we had to consider was the quality of life, though. Even though the baby could survive, what kind of effects would a baby have if they're born this early versus like brain damage or anything with their heart, lungs, development? What kind of NICU fight will we be in? That was our next hurdle that we had to go over. So I got in the hospital. They put me in for a day, and they ran tests before they told me anything. They was like, hey, we just gonna run a bunch of tests and we're gonna give you an update tomorrow. So I said, okay. I called Travis. I was like, hey, look, let me give you this little update. I'm gonna have to stay overnight. My blood pressure's still high. They gave me some blood pressure medication and they put me on magnesium. So magnesium is a medicine that they give you to regulate your blood pressure, but it also helps with the baby brain development. And I was fine with that. I was like, okay. They were like, we're gonna give the baby this magnesium because, if you had a baby now, it'll help with their brain development and kind of like speed up their little growth, help the brain. And it helps decrease brain bleeds in premature babies. So I was like, give me that magnesium. So I took the magnesium. Y'all, that stuff make you loopy. I was really out of it. I was not feeling good. Now, I will tell you, I wish I had a doula. I 100% wanted to hire a doula this pregnancy, but I didn't get the opportunity to because I started having complications. And even if I had a doula at this time, they were not going to let the doula come into the room or be in the hospital with me. I wanted a doula there because that medicine had me so doped up and knocked out that at least the doula could have been there to say, hey, no, she wants this, or advocate for me, or at least have my birth plan and know what I wanted. It would have been nice to have somebody in that room that had my best interest. Travis could not be up at the hospital because we have a 6-year-old and we live in a state where we don't have family that could take care of our child for us. So he had to be there with her. So I was pretty much at that hospital by myself. So anything could have happened and went down, and them folks could have said just about anything in the newspapers about what happened, right? If I would have not made it, or if anything would have went wrong, nobody was there. And because of COVID regulations, they actually would not let nobody up there. They barely was even letting Travis in there, and he was the daddy. So that was really pitiful. So, dealing with that emotionally, if you know a mom that's in the hospital right now that's on bed rest, pray for them, y'all. If y'all know somebody right now that's in the hospital, pray for them. I got a friend right now that's in the hospital on bed rest doing amazing, which I'm so excited about, doing amazing, but it's an emotional roller coaster, okay? So anyway, I called Travis. I was like, I'm going to have to stay overnight, but I'm straight. The baby doing good. Everything's going well with baby. So then the next day, that's when the news dropped and hit us. And that's when the doctor came in and said, Mariah, the baby's doing good, but you are showing signs of preeclampsia with severe features. So it's levels to it. Preeclampsia, you could have it and maybe your blood pressure elevate. They could put you on a blood pressure pill, send you home. Me, I had severe features, and that means that my blood pressure was high, 1. 2, my liver was being affected by how high my blood pressure was. My kidneys were also being affected by how high my blood pressure was. And so since those things were out of whack, I had to stay in the hospital. Another reason why I had to stay in the hospital until the baby was born, not minus all those things, Kaisley weight. She was just small. She had IUGR, I think they call it. It's like intrauterine growth restriction. So that just means that my uterus is unable to grow big. So I physically am unable to have big babies. That's what that means in so many words, meaning like my uterus just won't stretch. Think about it like a balloon. Some balloons can only stretch so big before they pop. And with me, I just can't. They just won't be big. If we ever have kids in the future after this, will not be a big baby. I probably will never have any baby over 5 or 6 pounds. And that's because that's just the way my uterus is made up. And I wouldn't have known that had I not had kids. And that's something you don't know until you have a baby. Like you don't know that your uterus is just meant for little babies until you get ready to have them. Some women, and it has nothing to do with me being skinny. It has nothing to do with my size. It's actually where I was born, my anatomy. I can only have small babies. And that is the truth. And so since Kaisley was showing signs that she was behind her peers, so most babies at her gestational age at 28 weeks are anywhere from 4 pounds, some even close to the 5. Kaisley, on the other hand, was only 2 pounds and 2 ounces, y'all. When I went into that hospital at 28 weeks, she was 2 pounds and 2 ounces. And most babies are either closer to 4 pounds, and Kaisley wasn't close at all. So they were like, she's too little. You're going to have to stay. So that's another reason. The last reason why I had to stay in the hospital, y'all, everything, I ended up you know how you have to take your diabetes test, and I took that about 21 weeks or 22 weeks, somewhere around in there. They gave me the diabetes test. I never got the results back because the lab was going through some weird changes at my OB's office, and so I kept asking them for my results, but they never gave it to me. Y'all, they got my glucose test back while I was at the hospital, and it was in the 200s. So they told me that I had developed gestational diabetes. Y'all, I'm like, come, are you kidding? Like, are you see? Everything in this pregnancy was going normal. Like, I honestly, with Kaylee, had no complications in the first and second trimester. Very thankful for it. But y'all, we get to the third, and when I say all hell broke loose, blood pressure went up, liver doing something, kidneys doing something, and next thing you know, she ain't growing. And then here we are with gestational diabetes. So when I say let's piling on, it piled on thick. So I'm sitting in this hospital like, dang. So my last sister was throwing me a virtual baby shower. I was thinking like, do I cancel it? Do I tell her I shouldn't do it? What should I do? You know, because that was one of the things that I was thinking about. We got friends and family that just found out we was pregnant last week, right, y'all? And we didn't tell nobody about this pregnancy. So they kind of feeling us away, right? Some of our friends and family. And I didn't tell anybody I was in the hospital. So I was like, do I call her and be like, girl, I'm in the hospital. We shouldn't do it. I didn't know what to do. So Travis was like, look, we gonna still have this baby shower. Your friends, they have worked hard to put it together. We still gonna have it. You know, you still deserve to have a baby shower. Y'all, I was so down. I was feeling like I didn't even deserve to have a baby shower because I was like, man, why should I even be celebrating? I'm in the hospital. We don't know if the baby gonna make it still, and I'm finna have this baby shower. And he was like, no, we are having this baby shower and we gonna enjoy this pregnancy finally. We had the baby shower and it was great. My line sisters threw a baby shower for me, and so did we had a drive-by baby shower that one of our Travis co-workers threw for us, and I wasn't able to attend. Even though the plan was I would attend, I wasn't able to attend. I had to attend both baby showers from the computer. So after they told me everything that was going on, I called Travis and I said, Travis, I'm gonna be in the hospital till I give birth. And he was like, oh man, like he knew, you know, he was like, dang. So he had to figure out how to work because he works full time. He had to figure out Kyler. Y'all, I know COVID was bad. I get it. COVID is bad, but y'all, COVID allowed us to not have to have our life so complicated. Kyla was going to school 100% virtual. And when I tell y'all we needed that, we needed it because Travis was able to work full time virtually and have her in school full time virtually. He didn't have to worry about going back and forth trying to take her to school. He didn't have to worry about going back and forth with work. He was just able to focus on the household. He also had to take her to dance. Y'all know Kyler dance, does modeling. Kyler booked modeling jobs during this time. Travis was a dadager. He was so stressed out, y'all. He realized what I do now. All the stuff I do, he had to do all of it. Okay, y'all. I had to call somebody and get Kyler's hair braided because I didn't know how her head was looking while I wasn't there. So he did all that stuff, y'all. And I'm so grateful to him for it. But I was in the hospital all the way on up until I gave birth for her. While I was in the hospital, y'all, I actually worked the whole time. Now, some people would have said, Mariah, take off for work, right? But for me, I worked 100% virtual, and I worked straight from my computer bed on blue jeans, and I had a virtual background in the background, so nobody knew that I was actually in the hospital. I was showing up to work, the meetings, I was meeting with students, I was doing everything that I would have done had I been at home, because I felt like I don't need to stop until I absolutely have to stop. I wasn't stressed, my blood pressure wasn't up. Like, after my blood pressure was up that one day that I went into the hospital, it never went up again, y'all. Never. It never went up again. My liver function got normal after that day, and so did my kidney function. Everything got normal. The only reason why they kept me and didn't let me go home then was because they said most people that show severe signs of preeclampsia, they like to keep them from monitoring until they give birth, because at any moment it could go back up. So they kept me. That's not. And then also she was little, since she was so small and behind on weight, they wanted to monitor me. So that's why I really had to stay. So I What happened? So yeah, I worked the whole time I was in the hospital, the whole 4 weeks. I never took a day off of work because my thought was this: if my baby has to be in a NICU, I probably should take off then so I could be going up to the hospital opposed to taking off right now when I'm just sitting in the hospital looking around. That just made sense to me. So I worked the whole time. I stayed, of course, with that. And now we're at the point of where I'm about to deliver. Now, Travis, every week, so I was in the hospital for 4 weeks. Travis came to visit me once a week. That's all he was able to do. So for the majority of the time, I was by myself at the hospital, reading books, going to work every day. I kept myself busy. I attended an online breastfeeding class. I found online breastfeeding classes, so I did that. I also did virtual, and y'all, COVID did that too because of COVID-19, they have virtual breastfeeding classes now. And honestly, I feel like they should have always had virtual platforms for stuff because mamas need it. It's a lot of mamas out there on bed rest that need it. I went to a virtual breastfeeding class, and oh my gosh, y'all, because of that virtual breastfeeding class, I've been able to pump over 400 bags of breast milk. Like, that class helped me tremendously, because they wouldn't physically let people come in there and do virtual, like do actual breastfeeding classes with you because of COVID. So they had virtual options, and I was thankful. So I did that while I was on bed rest, worked full time. I told y'all that. I read books. I also, what else did I do? Something else that I did that really helped. Oh, I joined online virtual support groups. They had online virtual support groups that I attended for mamas that had premature babies, for mamas that had stillborn babies, and for moms that was on hospital bed rest. Believe it or not, y'all, they have those out there for moms. And I was in those groups. I was in those groups virtually, and those mamas kept me motivated. I was in online Facebook groups that kept me motivated, and I joined all those groups while I was in the hospital, and they helped. Also, some of my friends would virtual call me, so that was nice. Some of my line sisters virtual call me, and they kept me motivated. You know, they kept me going, because mentally you take a hit mentally when you just sit in the hospital, y'all, and you just watching every day go by, the sun rise and the sun set, and you just sitting there looking like this. You just in there, you know, and everybody in that hospital, them doctors, they just waiting on things to take a turn for the worse. They looking at you like. But they, you know, once I started going on and progressing in my pregnancy, they did eventually tell me, they was like, we are so proud of you, and we are so amazed at how far you're able to get. Because some moms that show severe signs of preeclampsia like me, they normally deliver that day. But I was able to last 4 extra weeks, and that gave Kaisley a hell of a chance of survival. So I was doing very well on hospital bed rest. It sucks, but I was doing it. I wasn't too emotional about it because, y'all, I kept working. I was at work meeting with students like this. So I tried to keep my mind off of it, under the doctor's watch, of course, and them approving me to do so. So when I got 31 weeks, that's when I had my drive-by baby shower that was on Travis on campus at our job. And that was great. And then that's when things started to take a turn. The day of the drive-by baby shower, I was on there virtually. I can't remember what time we had it. I think we had it at 3. I think it was was it a Friday or a Saturday? I think it was a Saturday. We had it at 3:00. I was 31 weeks exactly. All of a sudden, after the baby shower was over, I kid you not, it was like as soon as I logged out, I started having contractions. I was like, are you kidding? I started having contractions, and I was like, wow, I'm really having contractions. And so they were trying to slow them down, stop them, because they started to get pretty heavy, and they, gave me some fluids. I forgot to tell y'all, at 28 weeks, I got a steroid shot for the baby. I got 2 steroid shots. So that also helps speed up baby's lung development. And so I was happy about that. I forgot to mention that. I got the magnesium for baby brain development, and I also got the steroid shot at 28 weeks. So at 31 weeks, here we are, and I'm starting to show signs of preterm labor. So they gave me another steroid shot. I got 2 more steroid shots, and I was thankful for those because, again, they gave baby another booster. They also started me on magnesium again, which also helps with, again, brain development and also keep my blood pressure regulated. that was I told y'all I got sick on the magnesium, but I kept taking it because I needed it. Again, I wish I had a doula there because she could have been there to kind of make sure everything was going okay. But I was advocating for myself a lot. I made sure this pregnancy, y'all, I knew everything, the ins and out, what medication I was getting, what doctors I was seeing, what x-ray they was doing, what shot they would give me, y'all. I was on it. I had a list of everything I wanted done before I even walked in that room. I was very stern. I don't want to say angry black woman, but I was not playing. They was not trying me at all. If I didn't want something, I wasn't fooling with it. I made sure they knew not to mess with me like that, period. So I was making sure, because I was up there by myself. I had to advocate for myself, and I was not playing. So I started showing signs of preterm labor, so they gave me the steroids and the magnesium, and I approved of them. And so throughout that night, I was just, having the contractions. So I called Travis. I was like, "Ooh, Travis, I'm having contractions." And he was like, "Oh, it's about that time." I was like, "I don't know, but I'm going to try to." So my goal when I went into the hospital, they wanted me to make it to 34 weeks. That's always the doctor's goal, because by 34 weeks, your baby lungs is developed. The brain is developed. Most of the time, babies is 34 weeks. They probably stay in the hospital a week and they go home. So they wanted me to make it to 34 or 32. 32 is the time where the baby's lungs is really developed, brain is pretty good, but they like for them to stay in the extra 2 more weeks. Obviously, doctors like for your baby to make it full term, but if they have to come early, they would prefer 32 or 34, mostly 34. So I was like, I really want to make it 34 weeks. I'm having these contractions, I was like, oh no, I really want to do it. But I was so thankful, y'all. After we lost our son, I just never thought we would even get as far as we did. And the fact that we got the 31 weeks, I was very excited. We were I think for the first time, I could hear the excitement in Travis' voice for the first time, because we hadn't allowed ourselves to get too happy at all. And he was actually excited. I was like, oh, we did it. We close enough, So then after I started, so Travis came up to the hospital. He did come because we wasn't sure them contractions. Well, he was at the hospital anyway because we did the virtual baby shower at that time. The drive-by baby shower we did, and I started having contractions. But when we did the virtual baby shower with my line sisters, yes, that was the day I started having contractions, right after that baby shower. It was a virtual baby shower that I did with my line sisters, because I remember Travis being there. And that was when I started having them contractions, because he after the baby shower was over, we hung up or whatever, and Travis was like, "You all right?" And I was like, "I don't know, my stomach feel hard." And that's when the doctors came in and was like, "We watch you on a monitor, you having contractions." So I had to lay right down, come out of baby shower mode, and I started having contractions that day. So Travis stayed overnight. Our friends, James and DeAndrea, we talk about them all the time, y'all. One day we're gonna do a vlog with them, because we always talk about James and DeAndrea. We love them so much. They had to keep Kyler overnight for us. And I had to be monitored. So I was on that baby monitor all night, y'all. I mean, all night. I didn't get any sleep whatsoever. The contractions stopped. So they started doing they did ultrasounds on Kaylee while I was in the hospital every single week. Every week, or every 3 days, every 2 days. Every 2 days we had an ultrasound of Kaylee. So just know we got a lot of ultrasound pictures that we are thankful for. But yes, we did an ultrasound with Kaylee every 2 days, y'all. And what they were monitoring, because since she was so little, they were monitoring the cord, making sure that the cord was still working for her and feeding her. Also monitoring her brain activity, heart activity, all of that. So they would also take her weight as well. So at this time, I told y'all when I first went in the hospital, she was 2 pounds, 2 ounces. That's when I first went in at 28 weeks. When I was 31 weeks, they took her weight again. They took it in between, but they took it again so that way they could see where we were, because they weren't sure. They thought she might, they thought she might come. She was 3 pounds and 1 ounce. So they was like, okay, she done gained quite a bit of weight. So we was very happy to hear that she got the 3 pounds. We wasn't sure she was going to make it that big, and we were very happy. So, I had contractions and they started to slow down. So Travis went home. They were like, we don't think she's going to give birth. She fine. So Travis goes home. We make it another week. We get the 32 weeks exactly. That day, 32 weeks. That morning I woke up. Well, the night before then, I was having some contractions. I was in some pain. I was uncomfortable. I called the doctor that night. This was a doctor that I wasn't used to working with. And I talked to her and I was like, hey, well, I'm in some pain. Now, y'all, I'm in the hospital. Keep in mind. And I told the nurse, like, hey, I'm in some pain. Can you call the doctor? That's what it was. The doctor gets on the phone with the nurse and pretty much just ignored my pain that I was in. She was like, oh, I'm sure she's fine. How does the contraction scale look? Oh, those contractions aren't enough for us to give her anything. Just give her a Tylenol. Yeah, a Tylenol. Is you serious? So to keep from me turning over the bed and like trying to go off and flip out on these folks, I had to stay calm because I had to remember these people also have my care in their hands. So I can't flip out and react the way I normally will react. I can't clown because for one, I'm up here by myself. Nobody's here. They won't let nobody come up. After about 7 o'clock, they closed the hospital down. They would not let nobody come up. And it was like 3 a.m. in the morning. So I had to keep myself calm, keep my composure together because I knew that I could put myself in more danger flipping out with these folks because they could do anything to me. And I'm by myself. I don't have a doula. I don't have Travis, and they won't let nobody up. So I had to stay calm. The doctors that I love was actually coming in that morning at 7 a.m. Now, this is a risk, y'all, but I did it. This is a risk. I actually, after they gave me the Tylenol, I just chilled. And actually, that doctor I didn't trust. She gave the Tylenol to the nurse and I did not take it. I had my own Tylenol and I took that myself. That doctor I did not trust. So I took my own Tylenol and I laid down. I demanded that they put me on the baby monitor though all night so I can at least hear the baby all night. I stayed up all night and listened to that heartbeat all night long. And I waited on the doctor that I did trust, and the doctor that had been there since Cairo passed away. He was actually there and he was the one that helped deliver Kaisley. So he was the one that, Cairo, what is that flying? Cairo passed. He was there, and then when Kaisley, when I went into the hospital with her, he had been seeing me and monitoring me this whole time, and he was the one that I trusted. And so he got there at 7 a.m. that morning. He came in to check on me. I told him what happened, that I had been in some pain. He didn't like what he saw on the scans. And he asked me, he was like, has she been moving a lot? I was like, no, she kind of stopped moving that much. As soon as I said that she stopped moving, he was like, we delivering the baby today, period. No question. He went out there and had words with that doctor that ignored me. And when I tell you the whole mood change of the room, every nurse in there stood at attention. I guess he has like some real high authority because I'm telling them folks was moving. He was like, I want this, I want that, I want this. They were doing everything that he said. He made me feel 100% comfortable. He listened to me. He's an older white guy and he listened to me and he definitely got my utmost respect. And I'm always compliment this practice and I'm always so thankful to them. But yeah, he swung right into action. So I'm on the vlog. If y'all saw my vlog of me at 32 weeks when my C-section vlog, you can see I'm trying to like vlog or whatever, but y'all, I was going through a lot. He hooked me back on magnesium again to help with baby brain development again. He was really big on that. And so that helped. So this is the third time I had this magnesium. I didn't need another steroid shot because I had just got a steroids like 5 or 6 days before. And so I was doing good on that stuff. And everything was looking good. I will tell y'all though, one thing I didn't mention was how emotionally draining it was being in the hospital, being on a strict diet. I could hardly eat anything, get my finger pricked constantly with the diabetes stuff, also taking insulin, and then making sure I take the blood pressure medication and also the progesterone and the progesterone suppository and the baby aspirin. Y'all, was a lot. It was a whole lot. Okay, but I was doing it. I was managing. But just know that whole element too is a whole nother thing. You never sleep in a hospital, y'all. I didn't sleep because they coming in there taking blood. They coming in here checking baby. They coming in here doing ultrasound. You don't get no sleep at all. So just know for 4 weeks I didn't sleep. And the bed was so uncomfortable. So anyway, I called Travis. I was like, Travis, I think we finna have a baby. You gotta get up here. We finna have a baby. He was like, really? He he all frazzled or whatever. He didn't know what to do. I was like, you better come on, they finna have a C-section. So we talked about a C-section. So the reason why I did not give birth vaginally, because some people asked me those questions in my inbox. They were wondering about the vaginal birth versus C-section birth. So with Kyler, I had a vaginal birth. It was pretty like standards. I'll go into details about her birth in another video, but I had a vaginal birth. Now with Kaisley, they told me that I was probably gonna have to have a C-section. Here's why. When I was having contractions with Kaisley at 31 weeks, after my baby shower I did with my line sisters, her heart rate started to drop a lot, quite a bit. And that's why I had to be monitored so much. That's why they thought they was going to have to deliver her that day, because her heart rate, it's like every time I had a contraction, her heart couldn't take it. It was too much stress on her. And so this time, a week later, I was having contractions again, and her heart was doing the same thing. It just kept dropping and kept dropping. And when I called that doctor that night before she was born and told her I was in some pain, Kaisley also had been having heart decelerations. Her heart rate kept going down. So I was worried. But that doctor didn't even come up and meet me. She didn't even like come and check me, nothing. She just completely dismissed me once again, being a Black woman getting dismissed in the medical system. Like it sucked, So I waited on the doctors I knew that I trusted. Now that's risky because, you may not have that option to like wait on the doctor that you trust. You may not have that option. And with COVID, in that sense, it's been tough, because I would recommend moms to at least have a doula there. They kind of now making allowing more people to be in the room, but at that time, restrictions were still pretty tight. And so I would recommend a doula to people if you are able to get one, because if your partner not there, at least your doula can be there, because they can be there advocating. And looking back in hindsight, I could have had a doula be in a room with me till Travis got there, because it needed to be somebody there to advocate for me. So if you know somebody that's pregnant, I highly recommend a doula. I always have wanted one. I always wanted to get a doula. When I was pregnant with Kyler, I didn't know what a doula was, but with this pregnancy, with Kairo's pregnancy, I actually had hired a doula, but I couldn't follow through with her, and I actually had to let her go because he passed away. And so with this third pregnancy, I was like, okay, I really want to doula this time. But by the time I started picked a doula and was finna sign a contract and stuff, I went into the hospital. So I probably should have went through with it. But if we ever had kids in the future, I don't know, y'all. But if we ever had that conversation again, hands down, I would have a doula. But so yeah, I ended up calling Travis, letting him know, like, look, they gonna do a C-section. So we knew that we kind of was gonna have a C-section at 31 weeks after I had the baby shower with my line sisters. We knew, because they were like, her heart can't tolerate. She won't. We're worried that if we do a vaginal birth, that it'll be too much stress on her. So they said the safest bet is for her to come via C-section. They also felt like, since she was so tiny, they didn't want her to do a vaginal birth. They more so wanted just to make sure she don't get bruised or anything. They just wanted her to do a C-section. We have a C-section. They felt like that's what was safe. So I ended up getting hit with the C-section news. So I was like, C-section, they about to cut me. Y'all, I have not had I ain't had no super serious surgery until I had my cervical cerclage. Oh yeah, and I had a DNC, because y'all know I had an early miscarriage at 8 weeks. So I did have a DNC. So that, that was something. But y'all, cutting, I ain't never been cut now. I ain't been cut. That's different. So I'm sitting there like, they finna really cut me. So I'll tell y'all, y'all, that was like no other. I never experienced nothing like that in my life, y'all. When you have a baby, you so open and exposed. They expose all your goodies, okay? Like when you get pregnant, be prepared to be exposed. Like, don't even think, y'all, with this pregnancy, I swore up and down this pregnancy. I was like, I'm gonna have my hair done. I'm gonna have my nails done. I'm getting a Brazilian wax. Y'all, I live for a Brazilian wax. So I absolutely was gonna get a Brazilian wax. I had all these plans, right? I had this cute robe with the baby matching swaddle. I was about to be like, cute. Okay, that's what I thought, right? None of that ish happened at all. None of it. I ended up in the hospital early. I did not have that Brazilian wax. I was too pregnant to see anything down there, so I couldn't make myself cute either down there. I didn't have my nails done. Definitely didn't have my locks retwisted. It was a mess, y'all. I just felt so ugly, okay, when I got ready to give birth. So when they came in to prep me for the C-section, what they don't tell you, and I'm gonna do a video about what they don't tell you when you get ready for a C-section, is that they come in there, they are moving fast, they read a bunch of stuff to you, you trying to sign all this paperwork. Again, a doula would have been helpful because I was on a lot of medication with the magnesium. I told y'all that stuff made me not feel too well, and if a doula would have been there, she could have been there to read over the paperwork for me and just make sure I agreed to everything and like actually explain it to me. Since Travis wasn't there yet and he was dealing with the 6-year-old and getting her where she needed to go, I had to fill out the paperwork, and I'm up here don't know what I'm signing. That's scary. You don't know what you signing, and you under all this medication, and they got COVID rules going on, and can't nobody be up in there but one person, and at least she could have been there and swapped out with Travis when he got there. So looking back on that, when I think about my birth story, things I would change, definitely, again, y'all, the doula. So I'm looking at this paperwork, I'm trying to sign this stuff. They come in here with like this razor because they want to clean you up down there so that way when they cut they can see well. So they up here doing all this. I'm like, it's literally another woman down here, like she got this razor, you know, and I'm up here trying to read this paperwork. Y'all, it was a whole mess. That was so uncomfortable, y'all. I think I would vote that is most uncomfortable. At least if you get a Brazilian, it's one of them things where like you asking them to do this, and you know, you kind of know. I had a relationship with my esthetician, like I knew her, we were cool, and this was somebody I invited into my space to do that. But this is somebody else. I didn't know who she was. She just came in here with this razor and like doing all this, and I'm like, girl, you better take your time down there. Anyway, so after they done doing a little maintenance thing, what they do next, I was kind of in and out during this time, y'all, but they was telling me to call Travis, like make sure he get here, he needs to be here fast. And so I'm telling Travis, hey, where you at? He got there within 30 minutes. He gets there, I kind of black out. I don't remember what happened. I don't remember between like Travis getting there. Y'all see on the video where Travis got on this little outfit in his blue. Y'all don't remember him getting there. I don't remember him putting the outfit on. I don't remember them giving him the outfit. I don't remember nothing. I don't know. When I picked the camera up to film, that was me filming after I had like, I don't know if I passed out. I don't know what happened, but I don't remember. I just remember picking up the camera at that moment. So after that happened, the doctor came in, checked baby again. They noticed her heart rate was still fluctuating, and they were like, okay, we moving forward. And so Travis go ahead and they take him away. I have no clue where he went. I don't know. They took him somewhere. He told me that they had him wait outside of the room or something, I think. And then they brought him in once I was prepped and ready, because they had to take me in the bag, give me the epidural in the bag. They had to, what else they do? They did the epidural in the bag. I can't remember, but I know they laid me down. The first thing they did before they delivered baby was they had to take my cerclage out. So if you are a mom that have a cervical cerclage and you wondering like, oh, I got a C-section, when do I get my cerclage out? They did ask me if I wanted to get the cerclage out before I had the anesthesia and before I got ready for the C-section. But I felt like there's no use to put myself through that kind of pain if I can just get it done when I had an anesthesia. So I went ahead and did that. I opted to have the anesthesia. I got that, and they did the C-section, and there it was. Kaylee was born, y'all. And y'all see on the video where Travis is holding my hand, and the camera go to me, and then he holding my hand. Y'all, I was knocked out. I was not coherent. I don't know. I didn't remember Travis doing any of that recording. I was knocked out, y'all. My eyes was closed. That's because I was really out of it. I was exhausted, y'all. I hadn't slept in days. Because of the contractions, because of the constant monitoring, because of all of it. So I was knocked out, okay? And so that pretty beautiful video that y'all see of like the gender reveal, and y'all see like my y'all saw my gender reveal, y'all saw like, you know, that my C-section video, y'all, I was out of it. Do you hear me? Okay, I was out. So they did that, and they pulled Kaylee out, and they were like, look, mom, here's baby. And I was like, Hey, I heard her crying and screaming, and I think for the first time I relaxed. I was like, just for a moment, not all the way. Now Travis asked me, do you want me to go with the baby to the NICU or do you want me to stay with you? Now that was a hard decision, y'all. But as a mom, you always thinking about your baby first over yourself. But knowing the mortality rate of Black women, I probably should have told Travis to stay with me. But I told him to go with Kaisley to the NICU. The first thing I'm thinking about is we lost our son. Our son passed away. We had a miscarriage, an early miscarriage as well. The fact that we've had 2 losses, I just couldn't handle losing a third. I was like, go watch them to make sure they doing everything they can for our baby. That's the first thing that was on my mind. Like, go be with the baby. Don't worry about me. When really looking back on it, I probably should have told him to stay with me just because we can hopefully rest and assured that like the NICU staff are doing their job with the baby. But with me as a Black woman, making sure that they are making sure I'm good in there, I need him to advocate for me because I was completely out of it. I was just kind of knocked out of it. And so looking back on it, I probably should have told him to stay with me. Now, I will say that the OBGYN, it was 2 that I absolutely loved. Well, it was my MFM. I loved him. He was a big advocate for me. And the OBGYN I really liked was a woman. Her name was Dr. Burr, and she was a Black woman, and she was doing everything to explain everything to us. I trusted her. So she was in the room, and anytime she did something, she told me. So I knew she was there, and I felt safe with her in the room. And there was another woman that was there that was an OBGYN that I really liked. Her name was Lindsay. So I felt there was people in the room that I did trust that was working with me. But looking back on, I still probably should have told Travis to stay with me. I don't know. Because as a mom, the first thing you think about is your kids. You like, kids, like, go, So he leaves. He goes to the NICU. He get to see the baby. They brought the baby to see me, and I kissed the baby. But y'all, I don't remember that moment. That moment y'all see on the video. If Travis, when I kissed the baby, and they like, hey, mom, here's baby. Had Travis not brought the baby, had he not recorded that moment, I want to remember it. I want to remember it at all. Because y'all know, especially mamas that's on this live right now that they've given birth, y'all know. It's exhausting. You forget details. It was a lot. So after that happened, they stitched me up pretty quickly and sent me to a room for recovery. I was not allowed to see my baby for a whole day, so I could not see her until 24 hours exactly after she was born because they wanted to make sure the medicine that was in my system wore off. I still wanted to see my baby, y'all, but they would not let me go. And Travis had to go see the baby by himself. So he checked on the baby quite a few times the day she was born and the day after she was born. Later on that night, late in the evening, that's when I got to see Kaisley. And when they put me in a wheelchair to roll down to see her because I still couldn't really walk because obviously, I've been cut and I've been on medicine. Y'all, I rounded that corner to see her for the first time. I was in awe. I just couldn't believe it. I was scared at first, to be honest. I was scared because she was small. I mean, I was like this teeny tiny baby, y'all. She was like this big. Like she was the size of my hands. She was small. She was 3 pounds and 1 ounce when she was born. But by the time I saw her, she was 2 pounds and 14 ounces because she lost a little weight because of fluid and stuff. And I was like, oh my goodness, y'all. So y'all see on the vlog where Travis showed this picture. It's at the end of our 32-hour C-section vlog. And y'all obviously saw pictures. Y'all saw pictures and video of her in our gender reveal vlog too. Y'all saw that stuff. Again, if you haven't seen that, check out our playlist, Journey to Our Rainbow Baby. You can see all those videos. But y'all saw how she looked on camera. She looked bigger on camera than she did in person. If you seen her in person, y'all, I was scared to hold her. It took me a minute. I had to get myself together. I was like, girl, this your baby. You need to hold her. She was about this. I mean, y'all, it was like the size of a remote control. Like she was small. So they let me hold her. I would say I was pretty sad because, at first I felt like, oh man, at first, only for a second though, I felt sad. I felt a little defeated because I was like, I wish you could have held her in a little longer. I wish you could, I was telling my body like, oh, you failed me again. That's how I felt because with Cairo, the only reason why he passed away is because of my cervix. He was healthy. He was normal. There was no reason for him to pass away as far as his development. He was fine. He was small. So yeah, y'all, I have small babies. I told y'all that before early in this live. Cairo was actually small too. He was born at 22 weeks. He was only 11 grams. That's how much he weighed, just 11 grams. And he should have been 1 pound, but he was 11 grams. So he was definitely behind his peers too. So he was smaller than he should have been. And so Kyler, it was smaller than she should have been. I had Kyler at 38 weeks. She was full term. She was 38 weeks exactly. And I gave birth to her and she was 5 pounds and 5 ounces. So she was small. That was it for Kyler too. 5 pounds at 38 weeks is very small. And so now with Kaylee being 3 pounds, 1 ounce, she was small. And so seeing her in person when I rounded that corner, y'all, I was like, oh my gosh. But I quickly got myself together emotionally and said, girl, you did that because you were able to hold her in 4 weeks longer than the doctors thought you could. I just started giving myself a lot of positive affirmations about what I was able to do. And I had to remind myself like, man, sis, you went through a hell of a lot. You still here and you made it through. Because after Cairo passed, y'all, I was in such a dark place that I didn't think I was going to survive it. I did not want to survive it, really, to be honest. I had some really some dark thoughts for a while because of what happened and how it happened. And I just did not feel comfortable with my own body. And so to get this far and for Kaylee to get that far, we were very happy, y'all. After I saw her, after the first initial shock, I got so excited. I was like, oh, look at her. She was looking around. She was alert, y'all. She was doing her thing. I was like, okay. The first day I had to leave her there, I was sad, but I didn't break down because it's different when you had your baby pass away. When our baby passed away and we had to leave that hospital, I broke down. I was crying so hard. We had to go to the funeral home right after the baby passed, right after Cairo passed away. And that was hard. So this time with Kaylee, I left that hospital feeling great because I was like, I'm leaving that hospital, but I know it's temporary. It's just a different feeling. For some reason, I felt, because since I've seen the worst and I know the realities of how bad it could get, I was thankful for what I did have. And I was so thankful. Y'all, what is my hair always doing? I feel like every time I do a live, my hair is always doing so much. I was just very thankful. And so she had to stay in the NICU for almost 4 weeks. Every day I was going to the hospital. I was at the hospital every day. I would go and visit her for like 2 hours a day. When I wasn't at the hospital, they have this little camera that you can kind of log in and you can see her. The camera's always on her, so you can see her and what she's doing all day. So I love that. I would take her breast milk up there for her. I was breastfeeding. I met with a lactation consultant and I continued to breastfeed her. Now, she never latched onto the breast because she was a NICU baby. So I would have to pump her milk. So I'm an exclusive pumper. That's what I call myself. Like a lot of mamas are out there, exclusive pumpers. She was too premature to even suck on a nipple. And she was so premature, she couldn't even suck on a bottle. They had to give her a feeding tube, as a lot of premature babies get a feeding tube, and she had a feeding tube. So that happened and I was like, okay, we rolling with it. That's okay. And so she quickly got off the feeding tube though, y'all. She was on the feeding tube for like 2.5 weeks. And then she got off the feeding tube and we started doing a bottle. And so she started slowly progressing. So I had to go over to the hospital. I did a day in a life vlog. I was just really, really thankful for what I was able to do. And it 100% with the breastfeeding, I first had to pump some milk and I had to put the milk in these little syringes. And on the video that I plan to do, oh yeah, great question, Kayla. Yeah, I'll definitely do a video about a life of an exclusive pumper. Because girl, I be tired. I am tired. I 100% would do that because I thought I was gonna be. I thought I was gonna get her to latch on, and I was gonna do like traditional. Is that called traditional? I don't even know. I don't know, y'all. I don't know terms. But I thought she was gonna be able to latch on after I got her home. No, that wasn't the case, y'all. She never latched on. I had to keep pumping the milk. And just to give y'all a little bit of insight on how I had to do it, because I pump a lot of breast milk, I ended up having a meeting with lactation. I had these syringes. I had to put the milk. I had to get the milk out of my boob and put the syringe up to my boob and like put the milk in the syringe basically. And that's how she had to take it in a feeding tube. And then when it came to pumping, I was pumping every 3 hours, y'all. I ain't gonna lie, every 3 hours. It was exhausting, y'all. I mean, I never got no sleep for 4 weeks while she was in the hospital. I pumped every 3 hours. I didn't miss a beat. I woke up at 8. By then I was pumping by like 10 or 11. I was pumping again. I was pumping so dang on much. Hey, I ain't have no life except pumping. So that's all I did. I was using this lactation tea called from Pink Stork. It's lactation tea from Pink Stork. That's the name of the brand. It's called Pink Stork. And I was drinking that lactation tea, and I'm telling you that 100% helped me to keep pumping, because the suction on a pump is not as strong as the suction on the baby's mouth. And so you have to pump way more when you're an exclusive pumper, in my opinion. And so I was pumping constantly. And so I was storing her milk, freezing her milk. And we definitely got up to about 400 bags. And that helped me so much because she was in the NICU, y'all, and I had to provide her milk. They had donor breast milk that you could give the baby, but I really wanted to do it myself. I said, look, I want to be the one to get her milk. I want to be the one to provide it. Let me pump this milk. And I think because since she was in NICU, that motivated me even more, because I just started feeling like, oh, if I pump her milk, I'm more motivated she could come home quicker. I don't know what I told myself. Y'all be telling myself so much stuff. But anyway, so yes, I 100% plan to do a vlog about my breastfeeding experience. And I think I might have mentioned to you all that we're going to be doing a live the first weekend in September. We don't have a date yet, but when we have a date, I'm going to post it on our Instagram, post it on our community channel tab, everywhere. You all know, but we're going to be doing a live, and it's going to be called The Milky Mama. I'm so excited. And it's going to be me and another girl that I know that's a YouTuber as well. Her name is Cicely Justine, and she is on YouTube as well. And we also have one more mom that we're working with, but we are going to be doing a live all about breastfeeding. This mom that I'm inviting to talk about breastfeeding, she has donated breast milk to NICUs, and she is just such a great resource. She be talking about all things dealing with breastfeeding. Okay. Just looking. Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. I definitely didn't think about getting a nipple shield, because I was wondering. I was like, dang, she won't latch. Never latched. Do y'all hear me? I was trying. She was crying, and I was wondering if it was. And at first, when she was a month old, when I was in the NICU, they like for the moms to come and like try to breastfeed the baby. And I pumped every time I was in the NICU to, just leave milk there. But they had lactation come, and they were like, oh, let's try again. And they just kept trying, and she just never latched. Some of the things they told me, they was like, it could be because of her prematurity. Maybe she's not ready yet. Let's keep working with her. Even after that, I consulted a lactation consultant after she got home. It still just didn't work. So I would definitely start thinking about getting a nipple shield, because you know what? That came up before and I completely forgot about it. So thanks for the reminder, because I just was like, oh, child, you are doing it. Like she wasn't having it. Kyla was the same way, y'all. She never latched on to the breast. But honestly, back then, I'll tell y'all this. At that time, I was really young when I had Kyla. I really didn't know what was going on. I did breastfeed Kyla as well. I pumped her milk exclusively because that's all I knew. I really didn't know much about that. I was just pumping. But anyway, I breastfed her the same way, exclusively pumped. And then not only did I do the lactation tea, I was eating oatmeal cookies a lot. 100% that happened. I just was like, oh my gosh. And so with the NICU, I was telling them, I was just like, what can I do? I want her to get used to me and get used to my nipple. But since I went up there all day, they was taking my milk and giving it to her in a feeding tube. And then after that, once she graduated off feeding tube, they were giving it to her in a bottle. So I was like, okay, she might just want the bottle. Me, her. Oh, okay. I see that. Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, I see. Okay, that's a great point. Thank you for that info, Kayla. Because I was thinking in my mind, like, how can I get her to get comfortable with me? And I really think that's what it was. She was getting so used to the bottles because that's what they were giving her after she got off the feeding tube. She got the bottles, and it was my breast milk, but it was still the nipple of the bottle. And then I got what's that nano B. I was trying to get those bottles that feel like the nipple because I was like, maybe I need to get them bottles that feel like the nipple or something, see if that helps. She just wasn't having it. I mean, she just wasn't having it. She really wanted more so the bottle. And me and Travis started noticing the bottles that we got from the NICU. That's the bottles that she wanted to suck on. And I was like, she getting used to that bottle life. So yes, I would definitely consider the nipple shield. If you do have any recommendations on what nipple shield you've used in the past, definitely send me a DM on Instagram so that way I can take a look because your girl need help. Thank you, Kayla. I appreciate that. You all, after I had Kaisley, we brought her home. You all saw the video. So she stayed in the NICU for 4 weeks. And then I stayed in the NICU for 4 weeks. We had to take her back to the hospital a week after she was born. And the reason why is because since she was premature, they had to do what was it? A eye test. I didn't get the vlog that day, y'all, because I really wanted the vlog that day, but I was so busy, had so much going on that day. She had to get do some extra tests on her eyes. So if you have a NICU baby and you kind of wondering like what's the aftermath of having a NICU baby, was we had to do follow-up. And I might do a video about this too, like just what happened once we got home and what was like things that they don't tell you about having a NICU baby. We had to do follow-up. She had to go to a serious eye appointment because since she was 32 weeks when she was born, they had to check her eye development and they had to put this like machine on her eye and look in the back of her pupil. And I forgot what it's called. I used to know the name of it, but I completely forgot. But it's some kind of disease that affect premature babies' eyes, and it's pretty common. And even though she was at low risk for it though, because she was 32 weeks, babies that's born at like 24, 25, 26, they have more of a higher chance of having this, but they just really wanted to check just to make sure she can see. And so she had to go to a pretty serious appointment about that, and she checked everything, had to do her ear test, she checked everything. Most babies that's full term, they'll do stuff like that. But they'll do stuff like that probably at their first checkup or whatnot. But with Casey, she had to get everything, and we had to do a couple follow-ups. Oh, awesome. Okay, I see the brands. I definitely see the brands. Oh, and I love Medela products. I definitely check those out because I think I had a friend that might have used the nipple shield, and you know what? I remember the nipple shield being mentioned in that breastfeeding support group I went to. I went to one of those groups while I was on bed rest, and they mentioned it, and I can't believe I forgot all about that. So definitely thank you for the recommendations. I definitely look into those for sure. Yes, that's it. Yes, I knew it started with an R, and I was thinking like, dang, what's the name of it? But I don't want to mess it up. Yes, that's exactly what they were checking for. They wanted to check her out just to kind of see, and she passed and with flying colors. And I was a little stressed because I knew her risks were a little lower, but I watch a lot of YouTube mamas though, and it was some babies even at 28 weeks that had it, and it kind of affected them a lot. And so since I was aware, and you know what, y'all, the YouTube world has blessed me because so many moms are posting so much information out there that, this particular disease with the eyes and then other things that's going on with the babies. and having a premature baby, I would tell you I felt prepared. I did. I felt prepared because I had watched so many YouTube videos from YouTube mamas that share their journey and what's going on, like myself, that those moms really prepared me. And so when they told me that I was giving birth at 28 weeks, I will tell you, because of YouTube mamas, I already was asking questions like, what's the chances of a brain bleed? I knew the different grades of brain bleeds and what that meant. I was asking questions about the eyes, and I was aware of what was going on with the eyes and possible diseases and effects or whatnot. I already knew so much stuff, and I'm telling you, I'm not a medical professional, but YouTube mamas, y'all, thank y'all. Even though I'm a YouTube mom, I guess, right? But I just want to thank every mama that's out there sharing, that's putting information out there for parents, because y'all, it is so hard to find info, and we all know what Google does to us. You get lost in the Google whirlwind, and you get lost in the Google, the Google black hole. And that's how I felt. That just trying to look up info. So just to have videos out here like this or like others, I really appreciate it. Was visually impaired because of, yes, for sure. And you know what? I have a girlfriend that is going through that now. One of their scares that this particular mom is 29 weeks and still in the hospital, which we're like, yay, because mom's still in the hospital, still doing very, very well. But that's a very real reality for baby right now. So we hoping like the longer the baby's in gestational wise, that she don't have to face that. And I kind of was worried about it myself a little bit. But I was like, 32 weeks, I'm like, I'm thinking that we in the clear a little bit. But having a premature baby, you just never know if you're in the clear at all. But oh my goodness, that was one of my fears, was thinking about like long-term development and issues with a premature baby. I had read like the statistics though of a baby born at 32 weeks, and we felt good. And my doctor and my MFM had told me, hey, you may your baby will probably be okay, but we still got to do additional tests. I will tell you all, after we had Kaylee and we did follow-up appointments, they did monitor her weight closely. Instead of going to the doctor, like, I think babies normally go like a week out, and then they go 6 weeks after that to the doctor. Kaylee had to go a week out, 3 weeks out, 4 months, and then she's going to go to her 6 months. So she had to go a couple extra times to get a checkup. Then she, I told y'all about the eye appointment she had to go to. I don't think she had to do any more additional follow-up, but there's other, depending on the gestational age, that would determine how many follow-ups or what type of follow-ups you and your baby will have to do. So if you are a mom that's expecting, maybe going through something dealing with prematurity, just know there's some follow-ups afterwards. So even then, even after you get baby home, oh my gosh, you do not, the journey is not over, and it is frustrating. And then another thing they had to monitor, since Kaylee had IUGR, since she had growth restriction, she also had to get her weight. They had to keep monitoring her weight, y'all. So when we brought Kaylee home, y'all saw her on the video. I don't think I mentioned this on bringing baby home. Oh, yeah, great question. Great question, Kayla. When we brought Kaylee home, she was only 4 pounds and 2 ounces. I will tell you that we did have to fortify her breast milk, yes. And the reason why we had to do that is because they were like, oh, we want to make sure her weight. Actually, they were fortifying her breast milk while she was in the NICU. Thinking about it, yeah, while she was in the NICU, they told me that that's what they had to do to get some more calories on her, to get her little weight continuously to go up. They did fortify her breast milk. When we got home, they told me they wanted me to keep fortifying it for a while because they wanted to get her on a consistent weight gain. We were worried that she may lose some weight again. Babies be losing weight, y'all. So they were like, you need to, keep fortifying it. What we were using is, they were just using regular like NeoSure, the Similac. They would put just a scoop in there. But we were actually using Happy Baby Organic, which is a formula that you can only buy at Target. And we were pretty happy with that one. But now, y'all, she's 6 months. And finna be 6 months, and she is pretty much just regular breast milk. We just giving her breast milk, just regular straight out the breast. And she just had her very first table food, y'all. And I was emotional. I did do a vlog for that, and it's going up on our channel in the next week or two. My computer is getting repaired right now, so that's why we're doing lives, because my computer's getting repaired. But as soon as my computer get back, I'm gonna edit it and upload the video for y'all. But yes, Kyler was on NeoSure, my first one at 6. She's 6 years old. She was on NeoSure when she was first born, and then now they're on NeoSure with now she was on Kayla was on NeoSure as well, but they were fortifying it. But as soon as we got her home, we probably fortified it for like 2 weeks after that. Then the doctor kept wanting to encourage us to continue to fortify it. But for me, Kaylee never did well with NeoSure. She never would drink the NeoSure. She hated NeoSure. And so we pulled her off of the NeoSure. Oh, yes. Oh, awesome. Hey, Ryan. Oh, awesome. She was born April 27th. Named her trust, and she had to stay in the NICU for a week, and she weighed 4 pounds 10 ounces. Oh, that is so awesome. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations on your rainbow baby. Yes, girl. Woo! All the stuff we got to go through to bring these rainbow babies into the world. It's exhausting, but it's a blessing. Awesome. I was actually due April 13th. Yes, I was due April the 13th. So we were almost due date twins. But obviously, I ended up having to have my baby super early. And so she didn't even see April. I was really hoping we would make it to like at least March, though, y'all. Because I'm not going to lie. I really wanted like a spring baby, y'all, so I can have all those cute birthday parties outside. But now I got 2 winter babies, y'all. And we're going to be doing indoor birthday parties because, baby, it's too cold. So, yes, I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. I know how hard it had to be. Oh, yeah, you know what? Thinking about the journey is just tiresome. It's tiresome. It's so much, y'all. And then people be hitting us with a question. Now they be like, y'all gonna have another baby? I'd be like, child. What we had to go through to have this second one? Woo, y'all, thinking about going through it for a third. I don't know, y'all. We don't need to bring up the words in our household about that, because we just, you know, we got to recover from everything that happened. We taking a couple years to just do that. Then we may visit the topic at another day. But honey, right now, whoo, child. But I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. Oh, another comment. Let's see. Oh, yes. Okay. I'm trying to stop. Yes. From being a normal protocol, because he sees. So I just curious. Yes, you know what? When they were fortifying the milk in the NICU, I was like, okay, I guess I can go through it because I guess it's helping her with calories or whatnot. I still want 100% comfortable with it, but I was like, but man, once she got home and the doctor started talking about fortifying, I really started pulling back. I was like, I don't know, because she wasn't doing good. She was not doing good with the NeoSure. She wasn't drinking it. If we try to put it in her breast milk, I could tell she was acting some kind of way. It's almost like she could taste it. And so I could tell she kind of was pulling back from that. So I kind of, even myself, was like, maybe I need to pull back from the NeoSure, putting it into her breast milk. We still got a whole can of NeoSure in there we have not used. We really need to donate it and give it to somebody, because we were having a hard time with the fortifying. So yeah, they did fortify her breast milk. Travis and I did have follow-up questions about it. The doctors tried to be reassuring, and they were like proving that it worked because her weight was going up, but I still wasn't sure about it. Yeah. Oh, yep. Yours is on NeoSure as well. Yeah, they gave us NeoSure so fast. And right now, Paisley is finna be 6 months. So at 4 months, she was 10 pounds. At 5 months, she was like 11 pounds. So we'll see where she is. She goes to the doctor, oh my gosh, Wednesday. And I want to do a 6-month video for you all. I'm doing a 6-month live next week. So next week, join me live again. We're going to be celebrating Kaylee's 6-month half birthday. I have no idea what we're going to be doing at all, but we're gonna be doing a 6-month video. Another thing we're doing for her 6 months, y'all, is we're gonna be filming a video and we're gonna be uploading it on our channel, y'all, and we are filming her getting her ears pierced. That's gonna be coming up. That's another video we putting up here. So we're gonna put up her eating baby food for the first time. That video I already recorded. I just gotta edit it and get it up when my computer get fixed, y'all. It's supposed to be back next week. And then also we're gonna be uploading a video about her getting her ears pierced to celebrate her 6 months. We like getting her ears pierced, and so that's like she becoming a big girl. But I'm so excited for her, y'all. Oh, thank you. Yes, the kids are worth it. They are worth it, and I'm so blessed. You know, I'm blessed to have them. I'm so blessed. And yes, girl, I be thinking that, especially Kyler, the 6-year-old, I be looking at her and I be like, girl, you look like your mama. The 6-year-old. Travis, we be feeling like look more like Travis. The baby Kaisley, we be looking at her and feeling like she looked like Travis. But man, I definitely be looking at Kyler like, girl, you 100%. They're really a pediatrician who's familiar with the growth patterns of preemies. You know what? You are totally right. We actually considered changing both of them. So Kyler and Kaisley both go to the same pediatrician, and Kyler has gone to the pediatrician since we first moved to Georgia when Kyler was 7, or no, how old was she? She is not 7, y'all. 7 months. When she was 7 months, that's when we moved to Georgia. And so Kyler is 6 now, and we've been going to this person ever since. But we were considering changing because I was like, I don't know if this doctor is really well equipped knowing with like preemies and how things work with preemies, because some of the stuff he was saying, we were looking like, child. So we're actually considering now that we have other things going on. We taking recommendations from other mamas that's in Georgia, that's close to where we live, that we can actually maybe look into a different one. Another thing that they brought up was when we got home from the NICU too, we had a social worker. I know when people hear the word social worker, sometimes they may think something bad. That can be like a stigmatism, but no, it was like a hospital social worker. She would just call and check in on us to see if we needed any resources, seeing if we needed extra things for the baby, any type of support, counseling resources. I mean, she was awesome. One thing they did offer us was physical therapy. Kaisley did go through physical therapy while she was in the NICU, and we definitely feel like that helped with her little motor skills and stuff. And so that was something that we had the option to continue after she got out of the NICU if we wanted to do so. So that was great. She was able to do that. And then another thing was they recommended other types of therapy for Kaisley. So that was great, like swimming or putting her any type of like things like little gymnastics once she became 1, stuff that'll help get her going. So, we'll see. We'll see. But y'all know if we do stuff like that, we will vlog for y'all. Oh, great question, Kayla. Yeah, so Kyler, y'all, that's another vlog that's coming out this month. We got so many vlogs coming out this month. When I film Kaisley going to daycare for the first time, I'm also going to be filming, I think, on that same day, or am I going to do it in a different vlog? I haven't decided yet, but y'all are going to get to see Kyler go to school. She's going to first grade. This is going to be her first time going in person because all of her kindergarten was on virtual. Her school now is moving to more of a in-person type model, but she goes to a small school. It's super small. I think it's maybe like 10 kids in the class. It's a small charter school. And so we feel, and they have been excellent. They handled pandemic life well. So she's going to be going in person and she won't be virtual. So I'm gonna miss her. And I also myself, my job, y'all know I work in higher education. Y'all know I work at a university. And our job, we are doing a hybrid. So we're doing like 3 days in the office, 2 days virtual. So that helps too with work-life balance, y'all, because I'm able to really balance my work and also balance my home life. And I love it. I like this model. But Kyler, yes, she's gonna be going to school in person. She is so excited. Of course, we all have our worries and anxieties about in-person learning right now, just with everything going on. But since her class is super small, they got 2 teachers and they got a few kids. They also have like portables. So Kyler's class is in a portable right now because their school is going through a major renovation, and she eats lunch in the classroom. They have recess with their class. So, they're starting to do some stuff like that. So I feel way more comfortable now with her going to school in person. say most online, but I'm really not saying I don't mind going in person. Yeah, I totally understand. Going in person is definitely a big decision. And oh, congratulations to you for starting college for the fall. Yes, a lot of my students are going to be in person. I'll be teaching in person as well with my students. A lot of my freshman students, they're doing hybrid. We got some classes that's still going to be offered online for students that's going to be coming and starting in the fall. And then we got a lot of majority of everybody's going to be back in person. So, we're just trying to make sure we follow in protocol with our university with what they're recommending. And then, just kind of doing our thing. But I know for a lot of the offices that's on campus, they're doing that hybrid model. And we've seen an increase in student involvement since stuff went virtual. We throw events now, and we have like 100 and some students come because it's virtual, and students can easily log in and get access to stuff. Whereas when we had in-person events, it was tough kind of trying to get people there. So we've seen a positive outcome from virtual. So a lot of events and stuff, we may continue to have them virtual and then have some in person. So yes, we are going to be in person, y'all. I'm going to start uploading day in the life vlogs for you all, and I'm really excited about it. But I am going to go ahead and get off of here, you all, because I am going to I am just gonna go ahead and get off because I got some stuff I gotta do. Another question. No, we are not mandated. At our university, it's not mandatory for anybody to be vaccinated. It's not mandatory for anybody to wear a mask. I think in some areas on campus, maybe students are required to wear masks. They're strongly encouraging it. I note that, but as far as like making people get a vaccine, no, it is not required. So people, for the most part, what we've done is in our office, students wear masks in our office, when we meet with students. Honestly, a lot of our students are still meeting virtually for our appointments that we do with them. So it kind of hasn't affected us like that either, but it's not required that they get vaccinated. And also they are our university is a public, so all of our public schools are our governor, I think, released a statement saying that the public schools are not required to make people get vaccinated. It's more so the private schools that are doing stuff like that, at least what I've read and seen. I could be wrong, y'all, but at least where we are. And so no, we are not required. Oh yeah, yours is. That's tough. That's tough. Me personally, I believe that it's a choice. I feel like people shouldn't be made to do anything. I feel like it should be people's choice, what they feel best for them. If they want to, if they don't want to, I definitely feel like it's a choice. And so kind of suck that we living in times right now where people got to make this type of large decision, and then when they make the decision, you just don't know. It's tough. It's definitely tough, and with everything going on in the media, it is so hard to know what to do. But I'm definitely keeping everybody in my prayers. My family is definitely with you all. We're going to continue to upload content for you all, and I hope you all have enjoyed this live. Don't forget to join me next Saturday, where I'm going to be doing another live celebrating Kaisley's 6-month update. And also, don't forget those codes I told you all about. We are partnered with Reading Revolutionary, which is a book box that is awesome. Y'all know I love to read, and y'all know I got a book channel called Bookish with Mariah, and you can follow me on there. But if you go on our Instagram pages, we have a new code that we've released called that's Kyler Reads, and it's Reading Revolutionaries. And we did an announcement video that we are partnered with them, and they are a book box that celebrate minority authors. So definitely check it out. And we're also partnered with, like I told you all, the vitamins. We're going to be partnered with Goalie Nutrition, and it is so awesome. We're really excited about that. And you can use the code Liggins Family to get a discount on Goalie Nutrition vitamins. We're going to post all of that on Instagram, so that way you all can see the code. Y'all gonna be able to see what's in the book box. All that stuff is going to be on Instagram. So follow us on Instagram at Locked In with the Liggins, or you can follow Kyler's Instagram page at Sweet Kyler Doll on Instagram. All right, I'll see y'all in the next live video. Bye.